Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we will be installing an MSI motherboard. It's going to be a right here. We've got a B85M E45 and that is socket 1150. So anyway, let's get to it. Okay, here we have our Cooler Master N200 case that we're going to be installing this motherboard in. And I've already taken out the shield. You'll usually find this input-output shield wrapped in some kind of cellophane. Anyway, on the bottom you're going to see these kind of tabs here. I would recommend you peel these back a little bit. So you just bend them back like that, bend it back like that, and bend it back like that. What that does, that gets them out of the way so they don't actually pop in the wrong direction. You want those inside, not hanging outside. So the shield's going to go in like that, like that, and you want the sound at the bottom. So we're just going to pop that into place. And be careful because these things are sharp. You will slice your finger if you're not careful. Let's see here. Pop. And there, it is a little tricky, but when you hear it snapping, you know you're getting it on right. Okay, there we go. Don't stick your fingers in those holes. Okay, anyway, so that shield is in, as you can see from that side. Okay, now we want to make sure that we've got the right amount of standoffs. Now standoffs are these little brass things that screw into the chassis. It looks like if we look at the holes on the motherboard, right? So we've got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to look down here, and obviously we're missing some. So the case comes with a standard 3. It looks like we're going to need one here. We're going to need one here. And we're going to need one here. So let's pop those in. Now what we use are these screwdrivers here. They're pretty cool. We just call them a standoff screwdriver. So let's go ahead and pop those in. Oh, you can actually screw them in with your hand, which makes more sense. There we go. And then you can get in another one. You just give it a couple screws so it holds it in place. And then you want to make sure those are tight. So that's what the screwdriver is for. So we will go not super tight because we don't want to strip the metal on the chassis. But there's that one, just tight enough. Finger tight, 2 finger tight. Now if you don't have one of these screws, you can get away with a pair of flat nose pliers. It's not the best. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 standoffs. So when we put this motherboard on, we want to make sure we got 6 standoffs. Now we're going to put in this side of the motherboard first. All right, pop that right through. So now we're going to go and check and see if we've got the screws, and you can actually see the brass glowing through the holes. So they're kind of like that. So let's just back it up here a little bit, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we put in 6 standoffs, and we can see all 6 standoffs with the board installed. So let's go ahead and install the screws. Okay, so the screws we're going to be using are these screws here. They actually fit perfectly into those standoffs. So let's go ahead and pop them in. All right, we got 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see now, we've got the 6 screws. This board is secure and it's not going anywhere. So now what we can do is, on this particular motherboard, you've got USB 3.0 header right here. And most of these cases will have a USB plug for the front USBs. So what we're going to do is there's a little notch on there. We got to make sure that we put the notch with the notch. So we'll plug that in there. That goes in there like that. We also have, on this case, we've got front USBs. So the front USBs will look like this, and they actually say USB on them. All right, so those down here will usually go on the USB headers. So it's, on this particular case, it's got a JUSB, and here it's JUSB 1 and JUSB 2. It doesn't matter which one you go in. You will see that one of them is notched. So you can look there on the header, and you'll see that one of them is missing. So that's where the notch is going to go. So we're going to put that in there. We've also got this connector here, an HD audio. Now this is going to be for your front audio connector on the case. So it'll say HD audio. That will go over here. You'll also notice that there's a notch there. The notch is on the top, so you'll match that with the top. And there that is. And so on this case, we've got also some case fan. This is going to actually get the rear and the front case fans to work, but we don't have a power supply in here yet, so we're going to leave that one for later until we get a power supply installed. And then all that's left is you've got to install these guys. Now these guys are a little tricky. Sometimes it's indicated on the board, sometimes it is not. So basically you have your power switch, your hard drive LED light, which indicates hard drive activity, and then your P LED, which is your power LED, which just indicates whether the computer is turned on or off. So anyway, on this particular one, actually it looks like it's stated right here on the motherboard. So it's indicating that it is JFP1. Right, and JFP1, it tells you that you can put in the power LED, the HDD LED, the power switch, and the reset switch. Now, I'm not going to do that right now, just because it's going to take me a little time, and I could actually make a video just around that. But yeah, all you have to do is line up the pinout on there, and it actually tells you where pin 1 is. So if you actually look, right, where are we at here? Right there. So right there, that little circle would indicate pin 1. So if you go look over at the JFP1, let's see where JFP1 is on this board. Actually, JFP1 is right here. JFP1, that notch is right there. So we would just line up the connectors the exact same way that they are laid out on that schematic. Anyway, that's it. So that's all that's missing. Once we do that, then we'll be able to power it up. So anyway, tune in on the next video and we'll show you how to do that.